Hi, how's everybody doing today? This is Sean, and I'm here with The Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. And this dude's doing a review of it. It's called A Christian Review over The Brave New World. And I am going to help this dude understand this book a little bit better because when I show you this pieces here, you should see what I'm talking about. Or if not, you're gonna learn some stuff today, and that's my purpose. I'm trying to help people and educate them on what the hell is going on here. And these books that were written in the 1930s and shit, none of these people had the technology or know-how of any of the stuff that they're writing about. Only through, like in Aldous' case, his great-grandfather is Thomas Huxley, and that family is worth money, and they are Freemasons, and they've been in Freemasonry since the fucking 17th, 18th century, folks. So let's watch this. This is a little movie. It's we're gonna do a little in between it, and I'm gonna tell you what the hell is going on here.
All for more means more for all. If it can be made, it can be used. And if it can be used, it can be made. History is bunk. Half the time equals double the yield. War is bad for business. As select alphas, conditioned to believe without knowing and to know without believing, you have been chosen to view the surrogate revelations and synthetic mysteries upon which all perfect and placebo belief is founded.
Okay, now for those who've not read this book, this is the beginning of this. They shows us these fellows walking into this factory, and they make people. Okay, they clone people, and each person has a particular job. But every person is controlled by this substance called soma. It's a drug, and they give it to you to sedate you and to make you have sexual, euphorias and all types of stuff. Everything in that drug erases pain. It erases any type of emotions. So this, what he's telling you, they're all conditioned, and they're willing to do this because they're clones. Really looking at different people's clones or whatever, because natural birth is considered to be horrific. Now, let's take a look backwards what these people are doing here. And the color of the background.
It can be made.
See, purple?
History is bunk.
That sign they're making, and Aldous Huxley writes this in his book, he's fucking with people. The book, this book right here, I just read it, like this is to be the second or third time I've read it. I read it in high school for English, and then I just recently read it today. I just finished it today, and then before that I read it in the mid 2000s. And every time I read it, I just like, this is witchcraft, okay, this one, and there's mad Freemason in the whole entire book. Even John the Savage, which is one of the main characters that would be considered a normal person in society, other than he just, he learns from Shakespeare and some history of science books that were left on this island that he was on. And so he quotes Shakespeare throughout the book, which is the stuff he's quoting is from like The Tempest, the King Lear, all that type of stuff. And the funny part about it is that he's getting half-truths from Shakespeare, but Shakespeare didn't write that book. He never wrote anything. So Francis Bacon wrote all that stuff. And every scholar that's a serious scholar, English scholar, and people that study history and literature agree that Sir Francis Bacon wrote all the plays for Shakespeare. Shakespeare would be considered a pseudo-pyographer because he's not the original writer of that material. So that being said, this dude's following a fake guy, Shakespeare, which is a real person that just didn't write any of that stuff, was getting the stuff from Sir Francis Bacon. So the real person who was writing it is Sir Francis Bacon, and this guy's quoting a fake, a charlatan. So, and they're doing that sign that they're putting across their throat is a Mason sign of a sign of silence, a vow of silence. If you break that sign, if you tell on the Masons and tell their secrets, and you're a Freemason, they will cut your throat, and worse.
Half the time.
See, watch.
Equals double the
that was the last guy. We're gonna go back one.
Can be used.
Watch the ladies.
And if it can be used, it can be made.
Purple.
History
Right across the
is
throat.
half the time.
So this guy does it. We're going to go through
Synthetic
this.
mysteries upon which all perfect and placibic belief is founded. Here before you are sacred teletime plex relics of the sanctified life, thought, and holy works of our Ford, from whose divine inspiration.
See, the whole concept is to make things, and people that were good at making things, like Henry Ford, is idolized by these people. Now, everybody's like, it's a religion. No, it's not quite a religion, because they don't see him being a super divine person that has supernatural powers. He got divine information, which are telling you right now, these secrets that are being told to Henry Ford and other people like this, and Huxley and Freemasons, they all got this knowledge from fallen angels. Okay, this is how they got the knowledge from steel. That's how they got the knowledge to build these cars and all this shit you see. Human beings weren't meant to have all these things that we have like that. We're supposed to live a more simplistic life, and that's what John Savage in this book is trying to, go across to this other fellas. But the controller, Mustafa, he's a controller. He controls the whole thing. He'd be like somebody that works for the Rothschild family, right? So he has access to the Bible. He has access. He shows all these books that he has, which are illegal for anybody else to have, but except him, and he even says that. The main concept of this book isn't that the dystopia society could be done through drugs, whereas in 1984 they would just use physical strength. This military would just come arrest you, and they recondition you through torture. And Aldous Huxley was saying that they're gonna, the governments are just gonna sedate the population with drugs, dumb them down, and get them to agree to the things that are in this book. But the one thing that they're trying to do, and this is where a lot of people, like I'm trying to explain to people, is they're actually trying to destroy your ability to have hope and to look into the future of brightness and have compassion and love and things of that nature, because the entire book is about isolation. That's the whole concept of this book, is isolation. The people in the book are isolated, and they have to take Soma to be part of a community that isn't really real, that's actually just made up because of the fact that they're on Soma. And then this fella comes in, John Savage, which is from an island and he wasn't part of this community, is like that you have to experience all the emotions, pain, suffering to experience joy. So they've only experienced joy and happiness in their life, and he's saying that because you have not experienced pain or any kind of discomfort in your life, like death, they don't believe in any of that shit. Like it's just so crazy. So he's teaching them without pain you can't have love, and then he doesn't know about God. And then the guy, Mustafa in the book, brings out the Bible, and he's like, this is God in here. And he's like, what's God? And then he knows a little bit about it by Shakespeare, but then it makes him, which Mustafa did intentionally, makes this guy have an internal conflict of guilt at the end. That's what it was. He was guilt, and he had no hope and no one to talk to get rid of that guilt, and that's how they work it. These people, and they're demon influenced. Rothschilds and things. These type of people use your emotions because they're apathetic. They're not even. They have no. The only thing they want is money and owning the countries. That's how they roll. They buy countries, folks. That's how they do business. They have 4 brothers that did it back in the 1800s. Bishop Gaynor talks about this at Spiritual Global Revolution. He does a good job with it also. He's blessed by God. So the fact of the matter is this. We have multiple things going on to distract you from the real purpose of what the actual book is about. And it's about isolation and the existence, the non-existence of any type of God. Like no hope, nobody to talk to, nobody to give, thanks to, nothing like that. And that guilt ends up killing this guy, John, in the end. He took his life because he felt guilty. So I would suggest reading the book, but no, it's witchcraft. Okay, this fucking witchcraft and Freemason symbolism and the whole concept of this thing is evil to the core.
Came the ultimate perfection of the endless assembly line, which has given us the ultimate, endless, perfect happiness of more things, for more wants in perfect balance, with more wants for more things.
Now, if you don't understand what he just said, he's going to replace war with people purchasing things. The ability to buy anything you want anytime, and the soma is given out to you throughout the movie or in the book. High level propaganda from the beginning to start, and they're showing you starving children and the wars are out in the world, and in their perfect utopia, there's no such a thing. Identity. It's your identity, self-identity. Because of that, this is what happens. And this is the propaganda they push. She can barely watch it. See, he's the alpha. That's Eisenhower, Kennedy, Nixon, Ku Klux Klan, hippie lady. They're appalled by this.
Didn't want to know, and so they took him there, and they killed him there, and they were just like you. I guess I like the easy ways of just sitting on the fence. Do not disturb. Do not disturb. To think I shed my warm cocoon doesn't make much sense. How absurd. No, do not disturb.
So recently I watched the 1980 made-for-TV version of Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. And I wasn't necessarily intending to watch the whole 3-hour production, but I kind of got pulled in and wound up being pretty staggered by how many facets of this well-known dystopian novel, relate to things going on in the headlines right now. And I'd been familiar with kind of the basic premise and a lot of the elements of this futuristic depiction, such as just the pretty obvious themes of technocratic.
Yeah, the whole book is based on two things. Taking the soma that steals all your emotions and makes you not want to be part of society. And two, for the promotion of promiscuity, having sex with multiple people, and also not having commitments to anybody. This is the apathetic part of it. So the entire book is written to isolate, show you what isolation is, and at its worst form, self-destruction, as it happens with John the Savage. So I'd go check this out on Rumble. It's called a Brave New World, a review of Brave New World by a Christian. And then this guy is, sorry about all the noise. My friend's making food, so they don't care that I'm making videos. So I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks. Like and subscribe, and I'll make another video of this. Furthermore, to go more into the rest of the movie. Thanks.